2020. I know. You just took a deep breath and you rolled your eyes. Me too. Hurts just hearing it, doesn't it? 2020. Ugh. Has anybody found a glitch in the matrix yet? Because if you have, let your girl know I'm ready to jump right through it. Hi, my name is Tera Lynne Fister, and if there is one thing that this year has taught me, it is that the ability to adapt is one of the most important things for survival. Seems obvious, I know. I read about it in my science books growing up. Only the strong survive, right? But I cannot think of a time in my lifespan where every human being on the planet has been tested on their ability to adapt at a singular time. Think about it. When was the last time the entire human race was told to stop making money, crawl inside your house, but make sure you survive? Pay your bills, teach your children, afford groceries, but don't lose your mind. With an unknown end date and a seemingly little help or answers for the common man from our government. What is actually going on? What are we doing? How are we going to do this? Who knows what's happening? Can anyone hear me? I am a woman in the music industry. I'm an artist, and I'm an independent artist, which means technically I am also a manager. I'm a social media expert. I'm a promotions team, a PR team, a booking agent, a sound man, a guitarist, a lyricist, a producer, a merch team, a graphic designer, a videographer, a photographer, an S-corp, my own makeup and hairstylist, my own driver, my own bank, a therapist to my bandmates when needed. I am a one-woman show. Nothing happens and the checks don't come in unless I make the phone call, the email, or the knock on the door. Sometimes forcibly if needed. Girls, I know you hear me. And it has been this way my entire professional career. I moved to Nashville, Tennessee via St. Louis 8 years ago at the ripe old age of barely 21. I've been a professional musician and artist ever since. Making music is my real job, and it is no small feat. While artists like myself have been suffocated this year, we have all experienced 2020. So I figured I would give some insight on what this year has been for my musical brothers and sisters. When March 15th, 2020 hit, my entire music community and profession was shut down. We were the first industry to really be flattened, and we are going to be the last to regain traction, with rumors of stadium tours not being able to really recommence until 2022. Now, the music industry is huge, so I'm going to discuss strictly the effect on my corner of it. My day-to-day grind, most importantly, is pushing my original music. It is pushing me, if you will, allowing you guys into my soul to gain connection and healing and peace via music. That is my #1 top priority. My second daily grind is earning cold hard cash on the streets of Lower Broadway, making music in the honky-tonks. This allows me the ability to afford my budding artist career while honing my craft daily. Lower Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee is an interesting, trying, magical place. If you haven't been, I suggest a long weekend. I promise you will enjoy yourself. It's basically Disneyland for adults, ladies. There are few to none like it in the world. I feel as though the word grind was invented on its doorsteps. Every band on every floor of every bar is playing for tips. It is how we earn our living. Yes, there is a base pay, but it is not close to enough to actually survive on. There is never a cover charge, so we literally live out of those tip jugs, never knowing what the day is going to bring. But just like anything else, you learn what works and what doesn't over time, and long story short, I've been able to make a decent, good living out of those tip jugs for some 8 years now. Those jugs no longer exist, and they haven't since March. What does an artist do when they can no longer sell their art the way they have been selling? Where do performers perform when there is no stage to hold them up? How does one tell their story when there are no ears in the room? How does one pay their bills when their job vanishes into thin air overnight? Who do I call to book a gig for not only myself but my band when there is no gig to be had? How do I pay my band when there is no money coming in to pay them? They have families, bills, cars, etc., and I can feel the pressure of their impending financial doom on my shoulders. So what did I do? What am I doing? What can be done? Adapting. Turning the world upside down and looking at it with a new perspective. I had to quit complaining about how everything is gone and everything is different and uncomfortable and unknown, and I had to change my way of thinking. I can no longer waste my breath being frustrated with a government that isn't doing more, isn't taking care of its people, or that the companies I have played for 8 years really offer no condolences, relief, or remorse. Just kind of, it is what it is, good luck. I had to pull myself up by my big girl panties and figure it out for myself. I had to do it as women have always done and think outside of this male-dominated society's box. I had to be ahead of the curve when I didn't know there was a dang curve coming. And I get an amen.
Amen.
Sound familiar? I am sure it does. Us women have been fixing the world's problems since the beginning of time. Our bodies are literally what the world's most powerful individuals emerge from. And guess what? They come out naked, hungry, and looking for their mom. They are looking for a woman to save them. And we do. And we always have, and we always will. It is an honor. So what did I do? What does my career look like these days? I have moved my entire business to social media. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. I am thriving doing Facebook Lives, media takeovers, and little solo acoustic shows here and there in deemed COVID-safe environments. I focus on pushing my merch sales and asking my audience, what do you need from me? Without social media, my entire community would have vanished overnight. Can you imagine if radio was still the only frequency on which all of us artists survived? Can you imagine the extinction of my people that would take place? The art lost. For all of those hearing this, thinking it's just music. You do not comprehend what your life would look like without music. Right down to the jingles you can still remember from your childhood for product sales. Ever watched a movie without sound? Ever ridden in a car and only been able to find static? Did you have a first dance at your wedding? Ever started randomly humming a song and you have no idea why? Music is in our DNA, right down to our heartbeat. There is a reason every single other industry turns to us creatives to sell their product. We are the human connection. Art is what brings life to numbers on the Excel sheet. Art in any fashion. And social media has truly saved my art. And being an independent artist, it is currently the only way my business is able to survive. Which, shameless plug, if you have a heartbeat and you love music, look me up, let's be friends. So, let's sum this baby up. It turns out 2020 gave me a huge lesson that I am still learning. In my adapting to the times, I learned how little money I actually need to survive. I learned how much money I wasted on little things every day. It taught me how much energy I was wasting on fruitless friendships. It taught me how much energy I was wasting playing too much downtown, tiring my voice and my creative juices, leaving little to none left for my original projects. It has taught me to love my alone time, to use my alone time to listen to my inner thoughts, organize them, and attack them appropriately. I personally think the world was getting too loud, and the universe responded accordingly, making us humans all shut up, sit down, think, and readjust. 2020 taught me that I am my biggest priority, that my mental health and well-being is worth more than any sum of money or gig or friendship or business relationship. Although, side note, don't let me fool you, I'm still an advocate of the saying, it is more comfortable to cry in a BMW than a Honda. I have big dreams. I have lofty goals. I like nice things. I want the backyard my dog deserves. And guess what? By adapting to the times, by readjusting my priorities, by listening to my body and soul and adjusting accordingly, my dreams are exactly what I am going to achieve. The dream continues to get bigger because by adjusting my energy and focus, I am checking them off the list one dream at a time. I'm a woman in the music industry. 2020, hear me roar. Thank you.
Tara,